mic's not doing well. I guess I'm live. Hello. Oh. Okay, that was odd. I don't know what happened with that, but anyway, hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Heather Dewey Pettit, yeah, that was a little bit weird. Sorry for that, but anyway, we can just go straight into it, and I'll just, excuse me. Yeah, I've been awake since 6 o'clock this morning. Anyway, how is everyone doing today? While I'm waiting for some people to show up, I hope everybody had, I wanted to say, I hope everybody had a great Mother's Day weekend. I had a pretty good weekend. It was a little bittersweet because to be honest, I did lose my mother in March. So it was interesting, but it was a little bittersweet. But yeah, all in all, it was a good weekend. Also, before I forget to say it, because I might forget after I do my intro, but I might go into it in a second. Anyway, I might go into it in a sec. I wanted to say thank you for anybody watching the replay. Thank you for hanging out so far already. Yeah. Let's see. StreamYard is showing me one viewer, so maybe I'll go ahead and go into my intro, which is my, and I did start to say my name is Heather Dewey Pettit. As a writer, I throughout my career, I've written a lot of different things, but I am currently, most part, of course, maybe some blogging here and there. Let's see. Let's see. I lost my train of thought. Sorry, because I was looking at something. But I have a book length that I've been working on for quite some time, and I'm hopefully going to finish that this year. And I've also interesting. Why am I getting this reminder? I'm so sorry. There we go. Working on this for short stories. I did submit something to the AuthorTube. What's it called? The AuthorTube audiobook that she I can't think of her name, I'm so sorry, that they put together a couple months ago, and so that was cool. I enjoyed doing that, and that's pretty much it in terms of writing. And then as an artist, I love working with watercolors, stamps and ink. I love making cards for my family and friends. And I can, obviously, between everything else. and I have an Etsy shop that I started a few months back. That is me. That is me. I also am a mom, and so from time to time on my streams, I get video bombed, not exactly photo bombed, by my kid if he's home that day from school. And how has everybody been? Let me know in the chat if you'd like. Let's see. And also, you can let me know what you're working on if you'd like. I didn't say that. Sorry if I did. I've been up since 6 o'clock. Did I say that? Let's see. Just today. Oh shoot! Then the phone rings. Yeah. One moment. Oh boy. Let me mute this. So sorry. Anyway, let's see. So anyway, I can get us set up with a timer for some sprints if everybody is ready for that. Yes, this is also, by the way, my Twitch. So this will be interesting. But I did start to say before the phone call that I might be having a guest today. Charlie Dorsey. But anyway, I will get this screen shared. So that we can, I've been, for those who aren't aware, I've been starting with a 15-minute timer first, and then, okay, let me stop it. That worked, okay. Oh, yet. Oh, there it goes. It's just being a little slow. So, yeah. I'm sorry if I'm talking a little bit fast today. I'm hyper. But I am getting a little tired. I was up a little bit earlier than I normally am, although that does change from time to time. But usually I'll wake up about 6:30 or so, between 6:30 and 7. So what I will be working on today is a beta read. I have 2 projects actually that I'm working on, a read and an edit. I don't always work on 2 projects at once, but sometimes I do. On occasion, voluntarily. At the moment, it makes more sense. And I think I'll also, I'll get the my documents open and during this first sprint rather, and I'll also turn the AC on because it's warm in here. Well, okay. Without further ado, then I will go ahead and get this sprint started. But before I do, please remember to take care of whatever needs you have. If you have to get up and go to the bathroom, if you have to get a drink of water, if you have to remember to sit up straight. I am going to sit a little bit better in my chair personally, with my back supported. It's a good thing. And sitting up straight. I'm going to make sure I'm doing that, and then I'm going to get this sprint started, this warm-up sprint started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sprint. Okay. How did everybody do? What did everybody do? I went to go and turn the AC on, but then it kicked on, of course. It's usually how it goes. Take out this banner. And opened up my documents. And remember, I need a new document from my client for that. So I have not received that email from her. So if the person I'm doing the beta read for had sent me an email back because I had emailed her. We were talking about the document last week. So and by the way, hello, Thrifty Simplicity. How are you? Thank you for coming. And off this morning. But I had a mom thing to do this morning, so move a little bit here. And sorry for the ums, by the way. If I don't I stutter, so with me, it's either one thing or the other. So sorry about that. Okay, so just wanted to see. Working on some things for work. Okay, all right, that's cool. So looks like I'm still waiting on my client to get back with me, I guess. I don't see a response. So yeah, making sure that she has not gotten back with me. I do not see that. Okay, just making sure here real quick. So making sure. Sorry about that. So let's see. I guess we could take a chat break. I'm just curious. I'm sorry. And then also, you know, if anyone watching has any questions, please feel free. Or if you want to talk about what you're working on or what you did. I don't think I've had enough caffeine today. Maybe I could start on my second cup. Why not? And I never fill those huge cups completely full. It's a big cup, isn't it? Thrifty Simplicity. I think I've seen you before. Messing with my hair. I wonder, did you come to one of my sprints last? I did stream last week, but I had some technical difficulties last Thursday. I don't think I streamed at all on Tuesday. I don't remember why. Yeah. Need caffeine. I'm actually going to be, might possibly start taking migraine meds. So I'll have to figure out if I'm going to be doing that or not. Yeah. Anyway, I'm having a hard time getting my work brain on. I had my mom brain on for a long time this morning, so gotta rewire myself here. Yeah, enough caffeine. And it was interesting when they were telling me what's in migraine meds. Looks like it's starting to rain. There's caffeine and aspirin and a variety of things, and I'm like, are those all things I should be having? Considering I already drink so much caffeine, and well, I'm trying to cut back a little bit, but and then I also take basically I take aspirin for its blood thinning properties. Okay, all right, that's cool. Yeah, your name sounded familiar once I thought about it. So it moves a little bit. I don't know if you can see that little piece of art. I hardly ever buy mass-produced art, but I did like it. It was on clearance too. It was like $3, I think. It says, Kathy, maybe you can see it. Be kind. And it looks like it's basically just a shadow box with the art on the inside, or it also almost looks like a wooden canvas. Hard to see. It's all right. And I liked it. It's pretty. That was dusty already. I haven't had it all that long. Well, that's not true. I guess I've had it since Christmas time, actually, now that I think of it. Or January. I think it was January. Yeah, I like it. Because it's simple. Sometimes simplicity is better than hit you over the head with it. In my book. But I also like the all the kindness items you see these days. Choose kindness regarding whatever thing you want to include in that, whether it's autism or LGBTQ or whatever. And that's kind of more generic. I guess. Yes. Simplicity is a really good thing. And I've always kind of been that way. Really. So the reason why I have, real quick, the reason why I have this mug is that my son's on the spectrum, and sometimes, I might have said this earlier actually, sometimes he shows up on my streams. But we can maybe start sprinting again at either 40 after the hour or 45 if you want to chat a little bit longer before we start really getting into it. Sorry. I'm always messing with my hair. I'm sorry. Such a bad habit. Still, you'd think I'm not all that young, let's just say, and I still mess with my hair a lot. Oh well. Simplicity, simplicity, simplicity. Oh, that's actually a quote, isn't it? Maybe thorough, possibly. Sounds right. And water. Caffeinate, but you gotta hydrate too. Hydrate or dihydrate, right? I can, let's see, it's 39 after here. When would you like to, yeah, well, the only reason why I did my hair, to be honest, is, is that I had a meeting for my son this morning, so. Yeah, remote working. Yeah, I don't always, I even had a nicer shirt on earlier and everything, and I put makeup on for this Zoom meeting, or Teams, but then I saw it had a stain on it, so it had something on it. But definitely, I don't often do much myself or worry about makeup. It's not raining. I know it's still raining. Huh. It's one of those it's like lightly raining, and it's not even completely, it's Florida. Weird Florida weather. Yeah, meetings too. Yep. Yep. Same here. Or, or when you're going to be with certain family members. If you know what I mean. There's that. Certain family members who seem to insinuate you need to wear makeup. Oh well. Anyway, I'm babbling at this point, so I'm talking very much about myself. I don't always do that. Should I keep it more professional? Or do you like hearing about this stuff? Let's see. Yeah, we'll just do it. Excuse me. We'll do it at 45 after the hour, I guess. Excuse me. So 3 more minutes. On my end, I don't know about the lag. Excuse me. Okay. I guess I still have mom brain on currently. So yeah. Sometimes it's nice to just talk about things that are on your mind, I guess. You know, it's probably a good thing. Oh, okay. All right. I'll wait till you get back then. I understand completely. I usually do that before I start streaming, if I remember to. That's fine. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So just looking at a document here and wondering, why don't I see some changes? Well, I thought I made unless. Okay, you're back. Okay. All right. Let me go. Actually, let me go ahead. I could have done that. That's okay. It's definitely raining still here. Interesting. All righty. Yes, before I click on the timer. Oh, by the way, before I forget, I usually do 25-minute Pomodoro style sprints these days. If that sounds good to you, we can do that. How does that sound? Thrifty simplicity. Oh, talking about, and then it dawned on me just now. We were talking about simplicity and things earlier. That is in your name. That's in your YouTube name. Yeah. Okay. All right. That sounds good. And then I'm going to sit up straight. So that's a good thing. Okay. So I'm going to sit up straight and I'm going to just stretch my wrists a little bit here. Do some stretching. Spread out the fingers. It's good for you. Oh, let me show you this way. It's really good for you. It might actually prevent arthritis, which I wish I'd done years ago because I am getting arthritis. Don't be like me. Stretch. It's good for you. I love stretching. Feel free to ask me later about my stretching routine that I should use more often than I do. But anyway, I digress again. So hydrate if you need to, go to the bathroom if you need to. Thrifty simplicity. Apparently I already did. Anyway, sorry. let's just get this started. in in 5, 4. Oh, okay. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's sprint. Okay. How did everybody do? What did you do? Wait a minute. Wait. Somebody's here. Hello.
Sneaking in there.
Definitely sneaking. I was sneaking. I tell that to my kid. Being sneaky.
It has been quite a day already, and it's just getting started.
Yeah. Same here. I was saying earlier, I've been up since 6 o'clock. I don't usually wake up right at 6 o'clock. I usually wake up a bit later than that, about 6:45 approximately.
I woke up from a really bizarre, not even scary nightmare, but it was
okay.
I could probably film it as a comedy skit because it was just so messed up. But I woke up shot straight up in bed, cold sweat, just and I've been trying to put myself back together ever since.
Excuse me. That's understandable. And hi to Bonnie. She came in.
Hi, Bonnie.
Before somebody distracted me, I was going to say, I was going through this document, and when you're submitting your manuscript to an editor, it's a good thing to make sure you have a Word document. Make sure you're on the same page with your with your editor as far as how you're going to submit it, and definitely have a Word document. More often than not, that is. Although some will work in Google Docs. But anyway, but at least have things like have the bulk of your formatting. Make sure you don't have too many line spaces and things like that. Just keep your line spacing consistent throughout. Just a thing.
I feel pre-called out.
No. Unless there's a specific reason why you have things, blocked out because you've got a letter. Somebody's reading a letter or something like that. That's understandable. But I'm going through and deleting some line spaces from a document. Oh, let's hit save. By the way, save your documents.
Yeah, I'm going to be splitting today between working on the outline for book 1 in this series, and I'm going to let myself start editing what I've gotten written so far.
I do want to work on my own project sometime today, and that will probably be, I don't know. Let's see, today's Tuesday. Maybe this evening. We'll see. Maybe this evening, or maybe just before I meet the kid this afternoon. We'll see.
Because my office have had it for a week. I've been getting the emails as comments have been going in on it, and I've been desperately not checking them because I don't want to know until I'm actually going to let myself start making changes to the document, because I'm one of them people. So,
okay. You know what? It did go fast. That was fast. That was a fast 25 minutes. Awesome. Great. And Bonnie said hello back to me. And you know what? Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. But in terms of, I think it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm used to double spacing, but that was for the classic way and for critique groups. So you could write things in and stuff. And classically editing on paper, that's how it's done. But because it's easier to write in between the lines. But, as far as, electronically this way, it depends on the editor, really. I don't know. I'm so used to double spacing. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes it's easier to proofread that way. If that makes any sense, 'cause that way you're not reading like a reader, but you're reading like you're looking at the words. And what apparently some editors do is they even zoom in really, really tight. And instead of it being, what is the default is 50%, isn't it? Oh no, it's 75%.
I think 75%.
You're right. But you can zoom in, and that's to really, really tight. And some editors apparently do that. That way you are focusing even more on the words instead of just reading it. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Yeah. Right now I've got it on 270% at the moment, just to see. That's a bit much for me, but maybe more like, well, maybe around, maybe I'll do 150 for next time. The next round, just to see if it helps. That's about 154. I'm going to try that just to see. Oh, that's interesting, Bonnie. Interesting. Well, that could be how you did it by hand, years prior. Sounds like, something that I might have done, in the past in a composition notebook, for school.
I don't know if
back before back before kids took their own computers to school.
I don't know if you've seen it, but Carrie's new iPad cover makes it look like a composition notebook.
Oh, that's cool. Who is this again?
Carrie. Carrie. Oh crap! What is mine? I always
Carrie, I forget.
I always want to Carrie author because that's the last word in her name. But
yeah. Oh, that's cool.
It drives me crazy. Yeah, Carrie H. author.
That's it.
I thought there was another word in there. I don't know why.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, it's really cool looking because she's got one of the smaller ones like I do, and so it looks like a small composition notebook. I'm just like,
awesome. Oh,
I
like that.
I kind of want that.
Oh, pardon. Research for what? Moods.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try. I don't know. I'm gonna open my outline and I'm gonna open my editing and I'm going to just kind of be like, which one? because I want to get the outline. I want to get the editing done because I want to have this story posted to Vella as quickly as I can.
Okay.
But I am frustrated because I was looking forward to hiring a proofreader to make sure that the formatting was correct, but because of the way it gets uploaded now, it doesn't matter because it strips your formatting out when you because you have to copy and paste it in, and it strips the formatting out. And so I would literally have to give somebody my password to KDP, and I don't feel comfortable doing that.
I can understand that.
But I'm always nervous that the formatting's not going to come out right, because it does weird things sometimes. But
using the wrong mouse here. Yeah, I have heard about that. Apparently, Bonnie and I want your productivity, Charlie.
Well, I did launch a new YouTube channel yesterday, so
that makes 3, right?
That makes 3, yeah.
Yeah. I originally had 1. I have 2.
The reason,
and it finally uploaded like a little bit ago. My video I was trying to upload since when? Most of the day yesterday.
You were talking about that yesterday, like early on. But yeah, I wanted to pull through. I could talk more about mysticism and spirituality and all that.
Oh, cool. That sounds interesting.
I'm happy with the way it looks. I'm concerned about how people are going to cope with it because I'm going to shock the world and turn my camera on. But I didn't change the set. So people are going to have to deal with all my stuffed animals while I'm talking about all this. This takes a lot of time.
See all the stuff last session.
So people are going to have to deal with that. But for me, at least, it's all about just pushing past the nerves and getting beyond that perfectionism that's inside.
Yeah. I was kind of battling that for a little while. It's so weird. It's like I was like kept touching my hair. It's like, got it. Happened already.
Well, like that's one of the reasons why I'm, for this project, I'm just outsourcing the final edits to an editor because as long as I can fix everything that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's going to be the last round and I can't keep poking it with a stick. It's done. It's done. Yeah. Like I've spent money. I have to make money now. You know what I'm saying? Like I've set a trap for myself, right? Mm-hmm. I've spent the money. I'm going to spend the money. So it's got to go out into the world to try to make some money.
Mm-hmm. Low spends.
Otherwise, I would just poke it until the end of time. Just like, no, you can be better. You can be better. Hi, Spence.
Hello. Pardon me, I've been yawning.
Hi, Megan.
Oh, yes. Hello. Hello. So, yeah, I mean, that's another thing that can be farmed out that would, but I don't know, that would probably, it might cost, it might cost more than buying vellum, but it would definitely be a time saver.
As somebody who's used vellum in the past on previous projects, I will say the nice thing about vellum is it's a WYSIWYG. It's like using any other text editor.
Okay.
And it's fair. If you're on the fence and you're thinking that you might want to hire a person, find out what the rates are and how many books are you planning on getting out in the next couple of years, because that's how that would be the best way to make the financial decision on it, because I think it's like $300 for vellum, because it's not cheap. But if it's going to cost you, you know, $250 each time you have somebody edit, format a book for you, and you think you're going to get more than one book out, it would be cheaper to go the vellum route.
Yeah. Yes, it would be. I'm just learning how to do it. Yes. And I completely understand, because I'm a writer too. So when my project does go off to an editor who is on me, that will be the day that I actually finish it, and then I have obviously do all the steps, and then it goes to an editor. I will be going.
See, for me, I chose, the reason I chose Rose City to do the edits on this is because I had already been talking to Jason Meadow about plot when I was developing the book, just kind of because we hang out a lot. And so it's like they already kind of know the vibe of the book. They, because this book's going to be really hard to edit because it has a very particular like weirdness to it that, I feel like I have pre-prepared them for it, because they already know about all my murder radishes and lovely, lovely, lovely snarky shark boys. And I feel like they're prepared. They're not going to just sit there staring at the document going, what the hell is this? For like 3 days before they start the edits, because they'll just be like, oh, well, they warned us.
Right.
But I really feel that, because I'm really nervous about this, because I've had good editors, I've had bad editors, and a bad editor is the
yeah, I've heard many stories,
especially because like my experience with a bad editor, they spoke with so much authority that you felt like you were an idiot if you disagreed with them, but like all of my instincts were you're wrong.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is, especially with so many editors being on AuthorTube, you can kind of feel out,
right.
What kind of
That's true. These days, yes. I when I first started, there was the only one I knew of was Louise. Oh, her name escapes me. Yeah. Oh well. British lady.
I can't think of
her
real name. She owns Enchanted Ink.
I talked to her on Facebook. Oh well. I can't think of her name right now. But anyway, there were only a couple, that I knew of, and then it's kind of exploded. And then also there are writers who are becoming editors these days, and so there are choices now. If that makes any sense. And it's a great thing to see editors on. You're right, on AuthorTube and stuff, or just on YouTube. And so I agree. I mean, it makes me think about my own project, because there's a tone to their channel. There's a tone to everything that they're putting out there. You could definitely get a sense of their personality and such.
Because a good editor, when I worked with John, I mean, I feel like I would not be anywhere near the writer I am without him, because he not only corrected stuff or gave me tips about, hey, this would be stronger, this would be better, but he always explained why. And like a really good editor can not just make that book better, but can make you a better writer. And I wish John was still doing editing. Like if I would save up to hire him again, but he doesn't do that anymore. That's okay. He's gone on to a career as a writer, and he's doing very well for himself. But
hey, Bonnie, 50 is the new 40.
I keep telling myself that because I'm going to be 45 this year.
And guess who turned that certain age last year?
This next January, the hubby and I have been married for 25 years.
Wow.
So,
really?
Yeah. Life is strange.
Life is strange. Next year will be my husband and I's 20th.
It seems so impossible. Like
Yeah, and my kid's gonna be 18 in January, so.
Because it's just like, I don't understand how that happened. Like it feels like just a couple days ago, like we met. Like it really doesn't feel like, in some ways it feels like 5 million years, because like last year was 1,000 years long. But
Bonnie,
same.
Some days I feel like a teenager. People sometimes, I mean, I've always had this issue. People think that I'm younger than I am. I've had this issue for a long time, and but then some days I feel quite a bit older. But
I forget my age sometimes, because I don't feel. I always thought,
the aches and pains.
Well, besides the aches and pains, but I've had this since I've had a lot of this since I was 16. Though that's when I got arthritis when I was 16. So, I've lived so much of my life with a lot of these pains. I hurt my back when I was in my early 20s. So, those are just part of living in my head.
Yeah.
But I always thought, like, one day I will mature and I will be like, I will come into this person who is firm in who they are and understands things, and hey, bitter days, and feel like an adult. Maybe one day, but it has not happened yet. Like I still feel like I'll get this figured out someday. And I think that's the secret.
Yeah.
Like at least my parents' generation were better at lying about knowing what they convincing us that they knew what they were doing, and not being honest about how confused they were. But like in my head, like especially when I talk to people in the scene, because I still listen to bands I listened to when I was in high school, but I also listen to a lot of like newer bands. And in my head, the idea that like Oh Children and Christian Death could play on the same stage, like that makes sense to me. And then I'll mention like the latter, and people will be like, I haven't thought about them in so long. And I'm just like, oh God. Like, oh, that's right. He died in 1996. Like, oh my goodness. Their lead singer's been dead for longer than half the people I've streamed with have been alive. Like,
oh my God.
And then I just have a moment of crisis.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting being on a YouTuber at this age, because most everybody, again, is at least half your age. But,
which is one of the reasons why I thought I could never enjoy doing any of this.
Yeah, yeah, I was very unsure of even putting anything out here. Although I think I had a drive to show some things that I'd like to do. You were 2 to 3 in 96. Oh, sorry.
I was in a glorious love clump in 96.
In 96?
There were 4 of us. It was amazing. We'd go clubbing all the time. Every time we walked into one club, the DJ would see us and play Bizarre Love Triangle, and I thought it was hilarious.
Interesting. 96. Well, I was 26, so I think the clubbing thing for me was, going downhill fast by then. I never was much of a clubber anyway. I always felt very, very awkward. And that wasn't really my thing.
Being the weird introvert that I am, I love that, like, that was the one place I really felt like I was myself, because I get to, like, put on the mask, because I totally do my makeup up, do my hair. I had essentially costumes, which are because it was clothes that I never wore in daily life that I would put on and then go out and be like this completely free person who had no cares and concerns for a couple hours on the dance floor, and think to myself, one day I'll be this person in my life forever. And then, the nightmare anxiety comes back, and I'm just like, no, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's fine. It's fine. 2021, and it is life to men of the age.
Yep.
So yeah, I think people can figure out the year I was born. If I was 26. Oh boy.
Salty dogs.
What is it? 1:40. Oh, I'm tired. Maybe we'll just chat the rest of the time for the next 20 minutes. It's only 20 minutes to go anyway. Oh boy. I'm just tired. I get tired this time of day. That's why when I first started streaming, it was let's see, at the time it was on Mondays, and I came on right after Dana Gollin was on. Early, let's see, it was January of, it was January of last year. I had to stop and think a second. January of last year, and but then I was realizing I'm kind of tired in the afternoons. So I changed it to what was it? Thursdays at 11, and that worked really well for a while. And then the thing hit. So the beverage bug, people say. I had to go to evenings because I was busy during the day. So that was my life for a while. So I had to stream in the evenings because I was busy, very busy during the day. I got distracted by Bonnie and Spence talking back and forth. So, but now that I'm back during the day, really 12 to 2? Why did I do that? I don't know. I'm getting tired. Yeah. I was always taken for someone much younger.
People have always,
even though the day I turned 21, I didn't get carded, but I was in a grocery store getting something for myself, and they didn't card me, so that was their fault. They should have, but things were different then. So anyway, but after that, I was carded until I turned like 31 or something, or so. And then they changed. A lot of places changed their policies to, we're going to card for 40, and then it started up again for a little bit.
yeah, people have always thought I was older than I am.
Oh, especially when I still had my wisdom teeth, because yeah, I just have baby face, I guess. Oh boy.
And now I have a Culture Club song stuck in my head.
Now you have what?
The Culture Club song stuck in my head.
Uh-oh.
Oh, time won't give me time.
Oh, right.
We
listen to a lot of stations that play 80s music because, so yeah, I must have just heard the their other big one, Karma Chameleon, recently, because that popped in my head when you said Culture Club. It's like, oh, it's so catchy.
Yeah.
It's so catchy. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, opposite. I'm the opposite.
Yeah, I've been going through a very strong George Michael phase again. Because
oh, really?
Sometimes I just need that buttery voice in my life.
He had a great voice. I agree. Even in Wham, I was like, oh, cool. And the bulk of people viewing have no idea what we're talking about, maybe. Oh, well.
I don't know. Last Christmas.
Everybody knows Last Christmas.
Yeah, Last Christmas trended again last year, and I think everybody knows that
That's
saxophone
right.
from Careless Whisper.
Yeah, that's right. I remember hearing about that. I was like, wait a minute. I remember this video vaguely. Oh, I kind of like that. I have really been playing with my branding colors because things are going to change anyway, probably pretty soon. So I've been playing. It was like purple. It was purple during April for Autism Acceptance Month. Because purple for acceptance. Because blue plus red for love is acceptance.
That's really cool. I've never thought about it like that.
Yeah, I've seen that in the autism community on YouTube a couple years ago, I guess. Yeah. I'm just playing some more because why not? And I'm tired, so something to do mindlessly. Oh, I like that. I like browns. I've always liked browns. Okay, back to comments.
There's a wonderful video by Technology Connection.
Vaguely familiar with George Michael. If you ever play, oh God, they're oldies now.
Like, if you want to know what a pop singer should sound like probably the greatest voice that pop music has ever had, listen to Jesus to a Child by George Michael. Like, that song.
I haven't thought of that song in a while.
That song.
Wait.
His voice.
Can you sing a couple notes so that we don't get only a couple? I'm trying to remember.
Well, I can't even get up there, but it's.
I'm trying to remember that.
His voice is so much higher than mine.
Vaguely. I'll have to look it up later.
But yeah, if you want to know what a he because he to me was the quintessential pop star, because he went through all of it before everybody else. Like, he got to the point where he hated his career because they just wanted him to be that sexy dude that made women scream, but he was gay AF and was like not into it. So he started hiring supermodels to lip sync in his videos, and You Get Freedom, which is one of the greatest videos of all time and one of the best songs of all time.
That was a great song. I remember listening to that a lot. I mean, I wasn't like I listened to a wide variety of things as much as I could, but it was on the radio a lot.
Yep.
So it was there. Yeah. What else is he famous for? Faith. That was an interesting song, and my mom liked listening to it with me because she was like, that sounds like what she grew up with. It had a very 50s-ish thing with the guitar work, and I thought, that's cool how he worked that into it. I thought that was neat.
But yeah, he could write everything from a dirty love song to like just a straight out like, I want your sex, like just like not even like playing around, just like
yeah. I was like, that shocked people. I remember I was like, that's a title of a song. And
like the moment, like one of the moments that I'll never forget is he played a big AIDS benefit with Queen right after Freddie Mercury died. And his version of Somebody to Love, like Freddie's is like forever going to be like way up there in my heart. But George Michael knew Freddie, and like the whole band was up there. Freddie had only been dead for like 2-3 months when they played the show, and the emotion in the track, because it's a live track, is just so like powerful and just knock you on the ground. So good.
Wow. Cool. And that version of Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me by him was really, really good. And then of course you can hear it's on the radio often. And and then he's singing it and it sounds great. And you think about John, but you're paying attention to his voice. And then all of a sudden he introduces Elton John, and then the crowd goes, ladies and gentlemen, Elton John. And it's, to be there, that would have been pretty cool. Or to see that.
Yeah. And then there was a couple years ago that album came out that was basically all of the top pop acts of today doing covers of Elton John songs.
Okay.
Like, I just have to say, Florence and the Machine doing Tiny Dancer, still on my playlist.
Florence and the Machine.
Because Florence Welch's voice gives me life. And that song. That song. I am here for it.
Excuse me.
And this is the moment I realized I haven't scheduled my lives this week.
Oh, whoops. I haven't scheduled Thursdays yet. Have I? No, I haven't. I wasn't sure I was going to do today's stream for a little while because I just had a lot going on this morning. So I got all the things done last night. Yeah.
Yeah, we finally got the chefs to sign up and get their appointments for their shots.
Oh.
So we're now in the I don't know what time the hubby will be home because it depends on if it knocks the chefs out. Because they decided to get their vaccinations in unison. So he may be cooking tonight.
Cool. Go right ahead and do what you gotta do. Excuse me. So maybe at is that another type of shot? Oh boy.
Okay, we have a very bad track record with that song because we got mad because we didn't get mad, but people kept ordering shots at the restaurant. Like as soon as we could let people in, like the first month, everybody just walked up to the bar and was like, give me a shot of, give me a shot of, give me a shot of. That's like all the business we did because people were so happy to not be in their houses anymore. So we may have put that song back on the playlist that plays at the restaurants. Just because shots, which has become a very passive aggressive, like, fine, I get it, but
okay.
Canva, I want the ability to tell it that this is well, I just want it to know that I'm creating a YouTube thumbnail, and so it should not give me an image that is over 2 megs. Just compress it until YouTube will take it.
Oh, excuse me.
My poor grumpy pup.
Okay. So it is 1:55. Hey, but what am I saying? I'm not in any hurry because guess what I did? I have Pro, at least for the moment, for the month, just to try it. And so I'm streaming not only here, but on my Twitch channel. I don't have, and so it's unlimited. I don't have to go, actually. I kept looking at the time. I was like, but wait a minute. Unless I get way too tired, which is possible to even talk, which may or may not have come and gone anyway.
What in the name of Crom are those cats doing? I can hear them making sounds in the other room. They're loud. I don't really want to.
But she's sleeping, of course, because she just sleeps a lot.
My doggy's in her angry stage because the hubby went to work and had the audacity not to take her. So she's all curled up and grumbly.
We could do a sprinty thing. Since you got to make your thumbnails and stuff, maybe I could do some stuff too. Why not? Would you like that? Would you like that, Charlie?
I'm gonna be working all day, so
that is fine. That kind of gives me a little break.
I try to give people the warning when they ask me questions like that, because it's like, sprint or no sprint, I'm going to be working today. So it's much more like, what's your schedule look like?
Oh, let's see.
That is a big truck.
Truck?
Yeah, all of the semis have decided that they're going to take our little road now. Because I don't know. It doesn't even make sense, because it's like, let's take all the right turns to get to the highway. Like, that makes no sense to me. Like, if I was driving an 18-wheeler, I'd want as few right turns as I'd have to take. But for some reason...
Oh, excuse me. Oh my God. I hate those yawns. Sorry. Hey, Charlie.
Yes?
Would you like to count us down?
Sure. Make sure that you are taking care of yourselves, everybody, especially if you have editing to do, because that can bring out the inner critic inside of all of us. And if I know one thing about writers, it's that our inner critics are not nice people, especially when they turn in on ourselves. So be kind to yourself, be good to yourself, make sure that you're hydrating, make sure that you are getting up and moving around if you have not done that in a while. And most importantly, if you need to do absolutely nothing during this sprint, that is fine, because self-care is productivity for writers. If you don't take time to daydream, where are your stories going to come from? Huh? Alrighty, let's get this sprint started in a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, and sprint!
Okay. How did everybody do? I'm singing apparently. What did everybody do? I had to get up. I got up and went to get a smidge of coffee, and I also grabbed a snack. And I wrote a little bit in the manuscript. I made a couple changes. And that's pretty much it.
Wow.
Anybody else?
Before I talk about what I was doing, $14 an hour for an 8-hour day is not enough to deal with customers. No. Customer support. No.
But you know what I started to say, though, is that, however, back in the day, when I was dealing with customers for 8 hours a day, approximately, I was not making that much. Retail jobs from about 20 years ago plus, you're making half that. Or maybe a little bit more than that, but I didn't make very much doing that myself.
I feel very lucky because most of the retail work that I did, I worked on commission, and have let's just say I'm good at selling. Didn't mind.
See that?
So I opened up the document to start edits. I read through what everybody had put in for chapter 1, and look, edits shall be made. Spence is making me think because she thinks the story should start in a different place than where it does. And I'm like, I see your point. I see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's going to be
it's hard to see your own issues a lot. So,
well, the biggest problem that I have, because I like intellectually I agree, but it also cuts out one of the character on another character's debut scene, which means I would really have to rewrite and build up their next scene so that you get a sense of who they are. And I'm basically debating over the economics of that, because that would then slow down that other scene. And
right.
I don't know if it's worth slowing down the story there, because that's where the story starts picking up, because it's when they're just about to set sail on the grand adventure. So I don't know. I see the point. I feel it's valid. It's
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
not yelling at you. I'm not yelling at you, Spence. I am not. I'm really torn because I really agree with you. Like, that's where the actual story starts. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. And I hate beginnings. Like, beginnings are the worst part of a book. They are.
Or any story. Yes.
Because
it's hard.
I'm torn. I'm torn on the inside because you're not wrong. You made a very good point.
Right.
And then there's that.
Yeah. I had somebody tell me the same thing once, and I was like, oh God, I don't know. And then my story did improve, though. Although talking to people in the same critique group later, some people said, actually, I did like I did like this part and this part of the parts that were scrapped. So I'm also going to be putting some things back in, but not all of it, because I agree. It did it sped things up. It helped me think about the opening in a different way. And it I don't know. It helped the opening.
I get really nervous about this because the most common critiques I always get on my stories is either, wow, that started way too quickly and we completely like, oh, that was just so much right at the beginning, or wow, that took its time to get started. This is like, finding that sweet spot has been a struggle for me my entire career, and I see it happening again, and I'm just like, oh, dang it. But yeah, I was hoping. I don't know why. I've edited way too many books to be this naive, but I was hoping like I'm gonna open up all the feedback that I've gotten from, like, because I've got the hubby's feedback, some feedback that got emailed to me. I've got the document on Google Docs. I'm just like, I'm gonna open all that, I'll read what people said, and I'm gonna know what I'm doing. Why do I ever think I'm gonna know what I'm doing? I'm a writer, dang it. We never know what we're doing.
Yeah.
But I fall for it every time. Every time. Just no, this time I will know what I'm doing. This time I will be smart about it. No. So if anything, Spence, I'm definitely calling myself out. Because with the exception to the intro to Crucify, which I can't wait till y'all get your hands on that, that's the only book that I'm like 100% like, that's where it starts. I nailed the beginning of that book. And if anybody disagrees, I'm going to put a thorn through their hand, because that's where it starts. And of course, I'm going to hand it to people and they're going to be like, why did you start it here? It actually starts here. Because, you know, the more certain you are, the wronger you usually are. Certainty is a trap.
But I think I needed that walking around bit. Seemed to be a little more awake.
That's good. Yeah, I went to investigate whatever the cats were doing, and I found nothing that could make the sounds that I heard. So I have no idea. Like, they just did and then hid all the like evidence of it. That's all I can figure, because nothing was out of place. Nothing was messed up. But they made a racket.
So.
But for any, several of my beta readers are in chat, I'm thinking of, as I make edits, actually posting them into the document in case anybody's curious what I did change. Not that you have to like continuously read it or anything. I'm not that much of a monster. I don't have expectations like that. Just
one of the projects I'm working on is also a beta read. For somebody I've known. Wow, how long have I known her? At least several years. local a local author. I met a while back anyway, and it's a really interesting book. She writes a lot of middle grade and young adult, and a lot of times she combines what do you call it? Combine genres, and yeah, there's a word but a lot of it is let's see, I've beta read for her twice before, and it's an interesting combination because it's fantasy. It's kind of steampunk, but it's more. I get kind of an Old West vibe. There are trains involved, and some machinery things. Machinery things, you know what I mean? Some, things like that. Some of the, like, there was one story, it was very much, actually this one, especially this one here, it's called Motherlode. That's a great title. And yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, this one has very much a Western vibe. So yeah, it's really interesting. At first I was like, because I hadn't read the blurb for the first one I read for her, so I was like, what am I reading again? It was an interesting amalgamation of things. So
I love mashing things up. Like I consider this story very much gaslamp fiction, but I would never really say that because that comes with certain expectations that the story is not going to deliver on, but it has a fairly like in total a much more like steampunk Victorian vibe that goes through the entire world building.
Okay.
But because it's in a secondary world and a lot of that doesn't play into the plot, it's just kind of background, setting dressing.
Okay.
I haven't really talked about that too much because once you say steampunk, people get certain expectations.
Yeah. This I almost would not call these steampunk because it's got more of a, well, at least one of the books had more of an old worldish vibe going on. But it was like all of the different countries have different vibes. Like this story it's definitely got an Old West feel about it. So it's interesting. And with place names that sound real to me, it sounds like a place in Texas. Pescatil?
It does sound like a place in Texas.
I mean, some of that sounds like, yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, definitely different. But using a lot, at least some modern names too, for the central characters. Yeah. So interesting. So.
And now it is time for the war to begin between the stubbornness in my heart and the person that sees, oh, but what if I did this and the person who sees the third way and the person that agrees with the notes that they've been given. Agreed that we're going to sit at the table and start playing cards.
Yeah, I yes, Megan. It is because when you start talking about stories and what seems to work and what doesn't, I think you really start just learning so much more. That's for sure.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways, I feel like these 12 chapters are like the intro to Moby Dick, in that I'm hoping that they will do a lot of that heavy lifting, that by the time people are done reading them, they will understand how magic works in the setting. They will kind of understand the nature of the world, the law, the governments, the political structures, so that as the story unfolds, like, I'm trying to lay a foundation and at the same time make it interesting, because and I know I'm never going to make everyone happy, because like the first 2 reviews on my last book that came out, the first one just said, I wish the author would have actually explained the magic system. And the second one said, I wish there was less detail about the magic system. So, like, you can't both be right.
That's funny.
Like, either I put in too much or not enough. I don't know which it was.
I completely agree with this. I think it does help me when I'm having a block. It definitely helps me.
It's one of the reasons why I bought so many like DVD box sets that had like director's commentary and writer's commentary, and especially like special effects commentary, because they really get into the creative, like, how did they make the creatures, why are
Right.
they, how did they block the scenes and stuff, because
Yeah, I'm the same way. I love watching that kind of stuff.
hearing the discussion about creativity, I find very inspiring too. Though my absolute favorite one is, there's a moment in Star Wars The Phantom Menace where one of the art directors is talking to one of the special effects people, and he points out that the little kid that they had playing Anakin Skywalker, there's a moment where his shadow looks just like Darth Vader. And he's like, how much time did it take you all to sculpt the shadow so that it looked natural, but it looked like Vader? And he's like, what are you talking about?
And so that's how that promotional thing came from?
That's how the light.
They got the idea?
Yeah, that's how the light actually hit on set with his haircut and everything. It just made his shadow.
It's just that bowl
Yeah,
cut.
yeah, it just made his shadow look like that. And they were just like, and the special effects guy was like, oh crap, that really does look like. Wait, 1 second. And you hear him pull out his phone and call somebody, and just like, did you do this? Okay, really? Okay. Yeah, we were more worried about the EOP scenes and making sure you couldn't see the horse that they were riding. It's just like, and it's just that wonderful moment to remind you that sometimes serendipity is a major factor.
It was just serendipity. Oh my god. That's just crazy.
But like the shock in his voice when he actually, like, because you can hear him get up out of his chair and like get closer to whatever screen they were watching it on. Like, you can actually hear it when he says it. And he's just like, wait, what? And you hear the chair creak, and like his voice gets further away from the microphone. He's just like, oh my goodness. Oh mom. Like, he had never even noticed. It's just like, yeah, that's amazing. Reality.
That's neat. Yeah. That's too bad.
I find that in a lot of fiction, though.
Sorry, Spence.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah.
I really feel that. because I basically, like, it's July to say I let myself take a week off because I didn't. I did other things, but not giving myself permission to not have to write for a week was a very liberating experience.
Yeah.
Because normally I would hop from project to project to project so that I was never not doing something. And while I still worked on some music and I did some artwork and, I did other creative stuff,
Right.
I did not allow any of the pressure to actually get any writing done, even like come into my head. But then again, I was also spending a lot of last week getting ready for the ritual today. So,
Oh.
I've thought about, I don't know if anybody would find it interesting, but I've thought about a couple times during previous projects just turning on a microphone and recording like a log of as I'm writing and stuff, kind of like a I don't know, somewhere between like a director's commentary and just like frustrated writer's journal to document all this and put it out as a podcast.
Coughing fit starting, muting myself.
And I don't know if I'm good to do that or not, but I've like the state of that my mind is currently in, I'm very tempted to do that. I might just turn it into the first episode of Project Shadow that comes back because that feels oddly appropriate. Hmm. Yeah.
Well,
I have to say, like last year and the year before last, we went through some things that I still don't feel comfortable talking about. And we thought we were gonna lose everything. Like it was bad. And I don't think balance is really, at least for me, during all that, it wasn't balance that I needed. It was catharsis. It was a way to actually purge those emotions. And it wasn't until I was able to find a way to either purge or sublimate them that I was able to try to find clarity. Because, yeah. And it's different from what y'all are going through, but like I know that feeling so well. Like
yeah.
in some ways that's how we ended up here where we are, because like at the time there were no jobs in California at all, like especially in the area we were. Like there was just the local unemployment rate was something around 34%. I mean, it was terrible. And
Wow.
like even to get like a fast food job, like we were talking to one guy when we were trying to put in an application, and he was just like, yeah, we put up the notice this morning and I've already got 9,000 applicants.
Wow.
People just wanted to like have a little bit of money. But yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah. You know, there were a couple of times. Oh, sorry for the upstairs neighbor making noise. You know, there were some times where, um, oh, you know, last year my husband was unemployed for a few months due to the beverage bug, whatever. And then he's been, you know, he had uh, lost a really, really good job, you know, like several years ago. And then it's been a long haul to get back to where he's still not back really where he was. So yeah, so I get it.
I really feel that, Spence, because yeah,
But
I've done everything I can to cut a lot of the people out of my life that do that, but some of those people are some of the people that cause a lot of those anxiety spirals in me are public figures, and it's hard to like avoid all news unless you completely cut yourself off from the world. And so yeah, I get that, you know.
um,
It's not easy.
yeah. That's rough, Spence. I'm sorry.
I really feel that. I had some of the most wonderful unhealthy coping mechanisms for such a long time, and they didn't make anything better, but they made me forget about the problems for a while. But yeah, for me, like, I know it sounds so silly and so stupid, but you know, it's one of the reasons why I take refuge so much in meditation, just finding a way to get space in my head. I think the book was called Triggered, I want to say, and it actually explains how to spot your emotional triggers and learn to develop space inside your mind for them. So that you can see when you're about to have a moment. And he actually talks about a lot of stuff in there. There's a Stoic exercise that has helped me a lot over the years, where you basically imagine like you're sitting in a creek or a river, and like the water is just flowing through you, and there are leaves floating on the river, and every time you have a thought, whether it's positive, negative, or anything in between, you just kind of sit it on top of one of those leaves and watch it go away from you. Because it's all about getting that perspective. It's you know, everything passes in time, which is never a helpful thing to hear when you're going through something, even when you know it's true. Like, that's never a, you know, helpful thing to hear in the moment. But you know, I don't know if, you know, any like visualization technique like that would help, or if nothing else, just doing a fourfold breath, because it just it interrupts your natural fight or flight system, which, if you've never done, they're very simple. You inhale for a count of 4, you hold your breath for a count of 4, and then you exhale for a count of 6, and do that a couple times until you actually feel yourself relaxing. That interruption in your natural breathing like that, it really does cause a physiological response that can cause you to calm down. Yeah, the river exercise is very helpful. But yeah, definitely, if you haven't tried a fourfold breath,
that is a good reminder, because I've heard you mention it before. That's a good reminder for me, as well as for, yes, anybody that's listening to this.
And this is also where I'm a real big fan of Lojban. Lojang, it has got a lot of different names.
Okay.
Motto meditation. It's not as simple as mantra meditation, which is just like find something that works for you there. With Lojang, you actually craft a short phrase that you just repeat and repeat and repeat to yourself. And basically the point of it is to make that the only thing that's in your mind. Use it to try to push out any other thought that's there. It's a Tibetan meditation practice. Yeah. A lot of my practice over the years has been very much getting used to the idea of uncertainty, to the point where I actually find certainty to be problematic. Like I said earlier, certainty is a trap, because once you are certain of something, you close yourself off to other options and other possibilities. And so a lot of the practice that I've done over the last few years is all about just fully embracing uncertainty, and trying to get to a place where I am just comfortable not knowing, and almost feeling I've almost got myself in most situations to a point of like, I don't know if the word's peace or the word's joy, but I actually find myself relaxing when I realize I can admit to myself that I don't know something. Because it's so much work when you think you should know, but you don't. That's how my mind works.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you do in your own life, but the short form of the Heart Sutra is very good for that if you are not averse to Buddhist imagery, because it's all about realizing that nothing is really one thing or the other, but kind of a little bit this and a little bit that, and nothing in totality. And then when you get to the end,
I like that.
Yeah, and then when you get to the end, the chant in
Boy, that would have helped me like a long time ago, because I had, when I was young, I had pretty black and white type of thinking. Yeah.
And then you get to the chant at the end, and it's the in the original language, it's gatte gatte parasam gatte bodhitsvaha, which gatte gatte parasam gatte bodhitsvaha. And what that means is beyond, beyond, further beyond, completely and totally to the fullest extent beyond. I am awake. That's what. And the whole point is, like, when you think this or that or this or that, you have to go beyond. Gatte, gatte, para gatte, parasam gatte, bodhitsva. Just beyond that. Just beyond. Just move past that, because that's the trap, is thinking this or that or the other thing. And I find that very handy. And if you need the full long version, like the long version takes like 30 minutes just to read it, but the short version is like a couple paragraphs. Yeah. And actually describes, and it's a beautiful story because it describes the moment that compassion realized what he was. Because it's the story of Avalokiteshvara, who's the Bodhisattva of compassion, and he realizes that nothing is either one thing or the other. So there is no life, there is no death, there is no beginning, there is no end, there is no old age and death, there is no ending of old age and death. And then at the very end, it's this wonderful line, and realizing that there is no path, there is no attainment. And realizing that he had nothing to attain, he achieved the supreme enlightenment. And I laugh every time I get there, because like he was just like, why am I trying so hard? Like, why? Like, yes, I feel this. Like, yes, I've been trying so hard. Why am I trying so hard? And in so doing, he spoke the mantra into existence. Gate, gate, parasam gate, bodhisvaha. Beyond, beyond, ever beyond, completely and totally beyond. I am awake. I don't know. Something that means something to me. I don't know if it helps you at all, but
it's interesting.
This is one of the reasons why I'm starting a spirituality channel, because this is like it goes, and I usually censor myself because
yeah,
I know people get weird when you talk like this, but I don't know. I'm hoping it's helpful, at least a little bit, to somebody.
For sure. It's I'm very interested in all of this stuff. I think I'm just tired, and I'm like I'm also doing something while you were talking. But I'm very interested in all of this stuff. I think I'm also just getting very tired. I think between the hours of 1:30 and 3 o'clock, my brain is mush.
Which is a very important thing to know about oneself.
Yeah. And it took me it took me way too long to figure that one out. I think Stephen King talked about that when he was in his book on writing. What did he say? It was something like, I think he said something to describe his feeling at that, of a similar nature. He said, I felt it was something like a snake had swallowed a very large goat.
Yes.
And then what do? They just lie there. That's what a snake does. That's all they can do after they've eaten way too much. They just lie there.
I feel that.
I've got quite a few things to do, so I tend to think, maybe I should.
Well, if it is of any help to you, I'm going to be going in just a little bit, because it's just about time. The new moon peaks at 2:01 my time. So that's 3:01 your time. And that's when I was going to do the thing.
Oh, then go do your thing, Charlie. Yes. Why don't we go ahead and wrap this up? That sounds really good. Would you like to say anything else? then?
I have not linked it from my channel yet because I haven't decided if I'm going to do that. But I have started a new YouTube channel about spirituality. It is called Wisdom's Cry. And the first 2 videos are already up on there. One's just a channel trailer kind of explaining what the channel is going to be about. And the first one is about the spiritual tradition that I come from, because not a lot of people know about it. And I wanted to kind of put some of the basics out first to try to explain where I'm coming from so that people know what I mean. And I also have things that if people don't understand what I'm saying, I can link back to other videos and be like, oh, I've already covered the basics. Here you go. It's right there.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about this because it's when I talk about my other job and my other life, like this is my other job and my other life. And was terrifying, the idea of bringing it to YouTube, because there can be a lot of trolling over here.
Yeah, seriously.
After a lot of conversation with the hubby, we decided that this would probably be a good place for this, and I really like making videos. So plus you get to see a lot of my really weird mystical artwork because I've been using a lot of it on that channel. So.
Well, then, there's another good reason to see Charlie's art.
So, because creativity is actually one of the core tenets of the tradition that I am a part of.
Okay. That's it. I find that interesting. Some of the artwork that I've done was sort of kind of done organically and just kind of more intuitive instead of having a plan or painting a particular scene or anything. Some of it's just been kind of because watercolor can be that way, and so I find that very interesting. I've made some small panels just kind of done intuitively. Made like like marbly kind of designs and stuff like that. So
yeah, I'm probably going to start doing art as meditation streams on that channel. I haven't picked the day yet, but that's a big part of our practice is art as meditation. So
that sounds awesome.
That's going to be starting up over there soon-ish.
Very, very cool. That sounds really fascinating, Charlie. Before I start nodding off, so nothing against anything you are talking about. I'm just tired. And I'm Heather Dewey Pettit, and let's see. For now, I just have the two channels instead of 3. I guess I'm gonna continue with this Tuesday, Thursday thing. Although at one point I was thinking of dropping one of the days, but I'll think on it some more. And because sometimes this is a really good thing to do because I get to talk to really cool people like Charlie.
It's my
Help me expand my mind and think of things in new ways. So it's a good thing. Yeah, if anybody has any questions at all for me about editing line editing, copy editing, and proofreading, please let me know. You can, let's see, basically, I can be reached at Heather Dewey Pettit pretty much everywhere. And including this channel. And my other channel is called Autism, Love, and Acceptance, using the Oxford comma. Because, yeah, that's me. Using the Oxford comma these days. So yes, that is using 2 commas. Here, I'm gesturing, but my camera's off, whatever. That's using 2 commas there. I will see everybody later. See you later, Charlie. And I hope everybody has a great day. And remember real quick that, yes, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I don't know. What was I going to say? I guess, see, my brain is mush. We are not licensed practitioners. I don't know. But, you know, if you need help, please seek it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.